It's 96.3 WHUR. Today, 2K and back in the day sounds like Washington, DMV. It is time for White House Wednesday with Ebony McMorris, our White House correspondent for American Urban Radio Network. Hi, Ebony. It is our very first White House Wednesday, and I'm so happy to have you.
I know. First, let me just say congratulations. Longtime fan. Always
you.
love you. I'm always down for some good girl power. Hey,
I love
Sunni.
Well, you know, I told you already. We had a little meeting. I said, look, I am excited because I love politics from a distance. Okay,
Yeah.
So that's why you're here because yesterday Hunter Biden splashed all across the news. What is happening? What are the updates? Catch us up.
Okay, so here's what's happening. We've all been seeing this. Hunter Biden has reached an agreement with David Weiss, the U.S. attorney from Delaware. He's pleading guilty to 2 federal misdemeanors for failure to pay income tax 2017, 2018. This ain't uncommon. And he also agreed to enter a pretrial diversion program for a charge of unlawfully possessing a firearm back in 2018. So he's basically not really going to probably do any type of jail time. But let me just say, Republicans have been calling this a sweetheart deal, saying that he should do time, that he was let off easy, some calling it a slap on the wrist. But David Weiss, who's handling this case, let me just double down and say this, was appointed by then President Donald Trump. So this ain't, they've been calling this Biden's DOJ team. He was appointed by President Donald Trump, and he agreed to stay over during the Biden administration to complete this long-running probe into Hunter's finances. This has been going on for about 5 years. And so every other thing they've kind of done has kind of turned out into a dud. But we have this that we have come to. President Biden made a statement, basically just one quick statement that he made while he was out, that he's kind of sticking by his son, right? But he didn't comment on the case. But that's really not what is getting to me. I really want people, Sunni, to pay attention to the language that is privileged language, I would say, that's being used in this case. So I'm not concerned about the Biden family, but what's being said about the criminal justice system, because they're calling this a 2-tiered system. GOP leaders are upset that he's not being carted off to jail and that it's not a harsher sentence. But what stuck out to me most is what we heard from House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Let's be clear. He said the Department of Justice's charges against Biden's son Hunter reveal a 2-tiered system of justice.
What does that mean?
Right?
Yeah.
So,
what does that mean?
So, of all the things that would reveal a 2-tiered system of justice to these Republican leaders is this. And my question to those leaders is, what makes you feel there is a 2-tiered system of justice? Because we know what it's not. It's not the fact that Black Americans are incarcerated more than 5 times the rate of white Americans in America. That's not what makes you feel that way. It's not the fact that despite roughly using drugs at the same rate, Black folk are 3.64 times more likely than white folk to be arrested for marijuana possession. It is not the fact that Black men and boys face higher risk of being killed by police than white counterparts. 2.5 times a higher risk, to be precise. That is not what makes you feel like there's a 2-tier. It is not all of the restrictive laws that are happening in our communities on voting rights that make you feel like there's a 2-tiered system of justice. This is what makes you, it angers me, Sunni, and I kind of end with this. It makes me think of a quote by MLK that I keep close to my heart, and it says that we have guided missiles and misguided men, right? Yeah. Like, what is it that makes your blood boil? It's Hunter Biden and his taxes, but it's not what is happening day to day on our streets. It's not what's happening in many Republican-led states where education systems are failing, where you're really on the bottom. What is it that makes you feel? It's not the housing discrimination. That's not it. It's this.
Wow. It's very telling. It's very telling how they use words to describe situations. And I think if you pay attention, you're like, wow. This is how you want to describe that?
This is it. And we're right on the backs of Juneteenth. Right? So you talk about a two-tiered system of justice. You're talking about Emancipation Proclamation, and then you got Juneteenth 2.5 years later when you have people finding out, no, you really behind. You shake these shackles off now. It is not what happened after Reconstruction when Black Americans were promised so much and delivered none of it. That's not it. It's a shame, and I think this country, all Americans, all of our leaders need to take a look. And when you lean into something so hard, make sure you're looking at the whole picture. But it's not on purpose. It's not by accident.
Yeah.
It's on purpose.
Wow. Ebony McMorris, White House correspondent for American Urban Radio Network, here for White House Wednesday. I am so happy to have you. You're going to be here every Wednesday, catching us up on what's happening. I'm glad we had a chance to do this. This is one of many. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Sunny. And I'm just looking for all the segments that you're doing. You gave me a little sneak peek, so I'm excited to hear.
Just a
I
little
may
bit.
call up on another one. Is that okay? If you hear my voice, I may disguise it a little bit, but let me in.
We'll hide your voice. We'll disguise your voice. Tell everybody what people can find you at.
Sure. You can find me across social media at Ebony McMorris. And also check me out at AURN.com. You can find out the pieces that I'm writing about the White House. And don't forget, every Friday on Instagram, Business for the Culture, I host it at AURN Online. And we talk about all those things that are Black and how we can help our communities.
Ebony, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Sunny.